welcome to UserAndI, the channel where I explore all things UX and UI design. And today I'm taking you through a speed design that I made of a landing page. And I'm going to talk you through my ideas and my thoughts and why I did what I did. So I've always wanted to create one of these landing pages where it's got a really cool illustration, and I thought this would be a really good opportunity to do so. The whole idea behind it is that it's going to be a landing page featuring a sign up process. Let's imagine it's for a SaaS business or maybe just an application that's really focused around e-commerce. It's focused around conscious shopping. So here I was pretty much trying to lift the input box off the background, and I was doing this using a drop shadow, which is quite common when you're trying to pull something off the background. There's many ways to do it. You can use a border. I decided to use a drop shadow because it's a bit softer. And here's where I start trying to bring in a H1, a heading if you will. I went with quite a bold font. I think I'm using Assistant, which is one of my favorite fonts from Google Web Fonts, to be honest. And with a bit of auto layout, of course, putting in subtitle, maybe some subtext, just to add a bit more intro, or add a bit more context, to the page. And then what I wanted here was just a little tiny sentence below the sign up box, just to sort of tell the user this is a free trial or your card won't be charged. Now in this part here, I wanted to sort of start directing the user's eyes to a different part of the page using color. So the call to action is a deep purple. I've got the keyword that I really want to stand out, care and the full stop, in the deep purple. And immediately when you look at the page, you're directed to that as a user. Next, we're working on the navigation, and again, I wanted to repeat another call to action in the header, which again will help to direct the user's eyes to the important parts of the page. So you land on the page and you're looking at purple. Purple's what's screaming out to you. You can see that in the call to action, you can see that in the keyword and the heading, and you can see that in all the other call to actions on the page. And here I am putting together a really makeshift logo. I mean, creating logos for all these projects and all these landing pages I design, they're really not the most important point, so I kind of skipped a massive creative step because I'm all about the UX and the UI for all these videos, so please ignore that. And over here, I pop the logo in its own group and I expand that group out just so I can get that navigation really center aligned on the page. It's a nice little tip and nice little hack there. Then I wanted to play around with the call to action color. Just wanted to see what different colors look like, experiment, see if there's a better color for this design currently. I do settle on the pink. I do like the pink, I prefer the pink over what I had before. And then here's me just creating not creating, but putting in example text of what these areas would be. I mean, I could leave it as lorem ipsum as well, but I think copy is a really important part of UX because it lends to the language and the feel of a page, and I don't think that should be ignored. And then I felt something was a bit missing. It was a good page. I do think it's a good design. I think it's quite colourful. I think it's soft on the eyes. I think it does the job in terms of directing the user to the important areas. But I imagine if this was an entire page, I'd like the user to know that there's more to see further down the page. So I thought adding a little UI element to that, maybe an arrow at the bottom, a transparent arrow, was really helpful to do that. And then just taking a look at the page in total, seeing what else is missing. At this point it felt a bit too plain. It did the job, but it also felt quite plain. A few final tweaks here, finessing. And here's where I go into fix the plainness on the page. And what I do is I go over, I just cut the page off a little tiny bit and then make that a bit transparent. And that adds a completely different feel to the page. It just adds another element. So it's not so simple. It's not a plain white background that you're just staring at. And I was quite happy with that. I think that's what the page needed. It just needed a bit something extra, and I was quite pleased with that. What do you guys think? you guys in the comments, let me know what you think, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd have done differently. There's the final design, and I'll see you on the next episode.